Hello, everybody. Talmar Anderson, Boss Actions. It's Talmar's Truths Happy Hour. Cheers to you, wherever you are, whatever you're dealing with. And I know some of you are ready for your cocktails today. It's been a long day for some of you bosses out there. I've been talking to some people, and well, there are the challenges that go along with running a company and employing people. And I know it can be rough, but I also know you guys can get through this and you will find the right people doing the right jobs, and you will be protecting your companies by making these steps. So that's a little message to some of the people I've been talking to today. If you feel like you're having a tough day, reach out to me and let me know. We can talk one-on-one. But for right now, I'm saying cheers to all of you who feel like your employees are literally riding the crazy train these days. Some people are, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that you are not in charge of them. They're their own humans, and let it go. So today we're going to say cheers to us and persevering and protecting our company by letting go of the people that are creating the chaos. So cheers to you, boss. I know, red wine today. It's a little rainy out, so why not? So get it, wine, not, yeah, I'm that dork. I know you're surprised. No, you're not. If you've been around, you know I like the dorky jokes. So I know I know we started the conversation one way, but it was just I'd heard from a couple of people about some issues, and we'll get to those and others, Talmar truths. But today we're talking about how to make time, right? If you're the person who's like, I am too busy to hire, I don't have time on my calendar for anything more. How could I possibly create the space to hire people? I don't have time to manage them. I don't understand what you're telling me, Talmar, when you tell me that I need to make time to gain time. Guess what? We're going to talk about that today. I'm going to give you 3 insights on things you could be doing to help you start the shift. But first, a little truth talk. Take a big sip. The truth is that you are creating your own chaos. You do not have to do it all. You are not the only one that can do it. And yes, you are spending your time on the wrong pieces. It's a fact. And if you're not really ready to deal with that, well, then you're going to live in this moment of high stress and overwhelm and heaviness of running a business that you are putting on yourself. Don't look around. It's no one else's fault. It is literally because you are not making the time to focus on this key piece, which would create the space by hiring and allocating the different tasks your company needs to be successful and using it to scale on purpose so that you can grow your profits. If you're not creating the space to focus on that step by step, not all at once, then you are literally sabotaging yourself. It's your fault. And that sucks. I get it. But there are things you can do about it. And it takes just a little bit of that commitment that you used when you knew you were going to step into being a business owner. It does take a little extra work at first. We have to set up your company for success. We have to create the process to attract the best people. We have to have a system to make sure that only the people that are going to enhance our company get through the door. We have to know how best to motivate them, hold them accountable, and decide when they're not a good match and say, thank you very much. We no longer need you to be employed here, which some people are having to deal with today. And I know it's not fun. But the truth of the matter is, there is a way for you to have more time. There is a way for you to not be overwhelmed. But the truth is we can't do it for you. We can't make the decision for you. And we can find ways to help you get through it. Whether that is trying to find companies that will hire for you, or that is you finally learning how to identify what you need in your business and attract the best possible people, both are options. But what both require is you taking the time to focus and understand what your business needs. And that's the hardest part for a lot of business owners because they don't really know what that means. How do I know what the business needs? And there's a lot of different steps. And that's part of you just saying, I am ready to learn a hiring process. But that's not the real issue. The real issue is we have to get honest about our time. We talked about it before, and we'll talk about it again. The first tip to making time so you can gain time on your calendar is to be brutally honest about what you spend your time doing. I mean, sit down with a piece of paper if it's required every single day for 1 week, 2 weeks, 30 days, and write down what you're spending every 5, 15, an hour, whatever increment works for you. What are you spending your time doing? And you're going to be surprised. You think you're much faster at some things than you are, and you think you're not spending any time on other things, and you're going to find out that really your calendar is filled with a lot of pieces that you don't need. So the very first thing you need to do is get brutally honest about what you are spending your time on and how you can pull things out so that you can focus more on your business. That's the first piece. Look for what you can get help for. You can delegate to somebody, whether that's a vendor, an independent contractor, or an employee. Look for the pieces that you don't need to do, that your business does not require you to do. Maybe it needs you to be a closer at this point in the game. Maybe it needs you to be a manager and just be in front of your employees. Maybe it needs you to be on point for marketing, the face of marketing. What does your business need for success at this stage from just you? Everything else could be delegated. After that, you're just deciding what you want to spend your time on and what you want to delegate or hire out or assign to other people that you already have employed. So the first step to making time so you can gain time is being brutally honest about how you spend your time right now and how we can change that, because a change has to occur, right? So the second step is to start purposefully creating space that you prioritize on your own calendar. Now, I know right now you're thinking, oh my God, Talmar, I can't put one more thing in there. I don't have time to brush my teeth. Well, first of all, everybody should make time to brush your teeth. But second of all, it's never going to happen unless you put it on your calendar, right? Think of all the things that you put on your calendar that aren't getting done right now. Right now, we're going to ask you to start putting time on your calendar. If it starts with 1 hour, that's great. But if you can get me 2 hours at least every other week of you focusing on and thinking about what your business needs, identifying who the next step is, what would need to happen in your business for you to be able to afford the next hire? What would need to happen for you to decide to delegate something? You need to start being purposeful about planning and creating strategy around how you're going to scale this company outside of just you. Because if not, you are stuck in that overwhelm indefinitely, literally until you die. You're just going to keep beating your head against the wall and being stressed out and missing out on your kids' sporting events and your family's big functions and weekends away and taking an afternoon early just to go to a movie. These are all things that successful bosses can do, and I want it for you. You can have this, I promise. It does not, you are not so singular and exceptional that we can't do this for you. But so the second step is you're going to put on your calendar an hour or two at minimum every other week. I'd love you to get to weekly, where you are planning on your business, things that will let you get further down the line to hiring more of the team that you need around you, whether that's independent contractors, employees, or vendors like we've discussed. So once you put that calendar time there, the next piece of this second step is you prioritize it. Yep, it means you can't bump it. You can't bump it for that hot lead that just came in the door. You cannot bump it for an employee that wants help on a project for a deadline that they're missing because they mismanaged it. You cannot bump this time. Commit to your company the way you would commit to any of those other things. Because you know what? You won't be able to deliver for your clients. You won't be able to support your team. And you won't be able to land new business if you don't find a way to get yourself out of this overwhelm and busy. You will not be able to grow your business. And you will not be able to be as successful as I know your company can be. It's true, it can. So the second step is to create a calendar time and prioritize it. Everything else gets scheduled around it. Just create that space. Do that for like 3 months and you will see what an amazing difference you move forward with such purpose. That's why I say scale on purpose. You now have an intention. You know what the next step is. You know whether you made progress or not and what you need to do in the next 2 weeks or week to make progress. You're thinking about how to make your business better. And that's your job because you're the boss. No one else can tell you how to build your business. It has to come from you. You can get mentors, guides, consultants, coaches, whatever. You can work with us, you can work with somebody else. But in the end, it's up to you, boss, to create the intention and the space to make these decisions and consider them 100%. So the first step was that we were going to be honest about what we're spending our time with. And then the second step is that we are going to create space and prioritize it on our calendar. So the third step, if we want to make time to gain time. So again, we're making time fit in right now so that later on our calendar actually has space for things. My assistant today just said, you know, I have this person who wants to meet with you on a Friday. I know you don't usually schedule anything for Fridays. Is it okay if I fit it in or not? And so I have a whole day that I traditionally don't calendar things for to allow for work and wind up. So in this one time, I was allowed to make an exception because I had 6 other hours in the day to finish the projects I wanted to work on that day. Can you imagine having a full day where you had no appointments? It's huge. It's amazing. It doesn't mean my business isn't working. It means it's working really well because everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. It can happen, but it started by making the commitment to think about what my business needed to be successful if I wasn't in an appointment every second of every day. That's what we're going to start working on. So if we know that that's, so the first one, brutal with our time, know how we're spending our time. Second one, prioritize and plan for a time, like an hour or two, to be thinking about and working on the business. Planning and strategy is what that means. Planning for the next hire. Who would it be? Is it a bookkeeper? Well, then I need to start asking for referrals for bookkeepers. And then maybe the next time you're going to be calling on those referrals for the next strategy planning time. So you just step it in there. You don't have to do it all at once. So then the third piece is we're going to get clear. So once you have been reacting and you've gotten a little honest about your time, you've now started to identify things that your business needs. Maybe your business needs somebody else to take over your social media. Maybe that's a big time suck for you, but I promise you, other people could do that. Maybe your business needs somebody to create your products, like put together binders and things for your people, for your customers and clients, or wrap them up or deliver them. Something that you're doing, somebody else needs to do. And so by starting to create this space and being honest about how we spend our time, we start giving ourselves that priority of a planned strategy session. We can start to piecemeal and pull things out. And now we're clear. We know what our business needs. Our business needs someone to help with social media. Our business needs someone to help with bookkeeping. Our business needs, because it's no longer about me and my calendar, it's finding the things that the business needs to create space on my calendar, but also keep the business moving forward. Does this make sense? Do you understand what I'm trying to get at here? It is about making the commitment to, I'm going to just baby step in some time. And by doing that, by taking that and prioritizing my commitment to these teeny tiny chunks of time every 2 weeks, I am going to be able to move the needle on my own calendar so that I can be even more present for my business. I know it seems complicated and overwhelming and frustrating, but this is the step. Start by knowing what you spend your time on. Second, create a space to start moving on what you could give away. And then third, work on the clarity of what your business needs to be successful outside of you delivering it. That's it. That is how you start to move towards making time. And at the end, as you move through these steps and you work on outsourcing, whether to a vendor, an independent contractor, or an employee, as you start to pull these things out of your day-to-day, you will have time. You're going to start to go to lunch once in a while. You're going to have meetings with people impromptu. Somebody's going to say, hey, do you have a minute? And you're going to be able to say yes. and they're going to bring the kind of opportunity that will grow your business exponentially. Because if we don't have the space for that next level opportunity, it's going to miss us. It's going to fly by you, and it's going to go to the next person that can say, yeah, I have a minute, come on in, let's talk. You have to create this space if you ever want to get away from the overwhelm. If you feel like these 3 steps weren't enough and you'd love to talk to me or Boss Actions about any of this, go ahead and direct message us. We can set a time to talk on the phone. You and I, one-on-one, we can talk Zoom. I love Zoom. Everybody loves Zoom. We'll have a cocktail or a coffee. I'm a coffee junkie too. I know you're surprised. That's why there's a coffee mug in our logo. And we're going to talk it out. We're going to figure out a way for you to create more space in your business, because that's how you can be more supportive of what your business needs. And that's how we grow and scale it. I'm Talmar Anderson. This is Boss Actions. Thanks to everybody that's out there joining us. I see you, Antonia. I see you, Deshaun. I want to thank everybody. And I just want you to be honest with yourself. What are you spending time on that you don't need to? Remember, overwhelm is a choice. What are you choosing to prioritize? I'll talk to you guys next week. Cheers. Bye.